My husband didn't know my baby monitor was streaming when I left for my shift, and what he said to his mistress about poisoning me made me call 911. Every subscription fuels our storytelling. Please subscribe and let us know where you're tuning in from. It's always wonderful to see. I kissed my sleeping daughter's forehead at 10:47 p.m., her chocolate curls splayed across the pillow like a halo. Maya was only 3, and leaving her for the night shift at the hospital always tore pieces from my heart. But bills don't pay themselves, and Aiden's business ventures certainly weren't covering our mortgage. I'm heading out, I called to my husband, who was sprawled on our sectional, phone glued to his face as usual. Yeah, cool, he muttered without looking up. 7 years of marriage, and this is what we'd become. 2 strangers sharing an address and a child. I grabbed my badge, stethoscope, and that familiar weight of disappointment that had become my constant companion. My phone buzzed as I started the car, the baby monitor app sending its nightly notification. I'd installed the streaming feature 6 months ago, the fancy kind that saved recordings to the cloud and let me check on Maya during my breaks. Peace of mind for $39.95 a month. I pulled into the hospital parking garage at 11:15 p.m., the fluorescent lights casting everything in that sickly yellow glow. Before heading in, I opened the app like I always did, just to see my baby sleeping peacefully. But Maya wasn't alone on the screen. Aiden stood in her doorway, phone pressed to his ear, and I could hear every word through the monitor's speakers. She just left. We've got 8 hours, baby. Yeah, I know. Tonight, we do it tonight. The insurance policy is $2 million. Nobody will suspect a thing. My hands started shaking so violently I nearly dropped my phone. I sat frozen in my car, staring at the screen like it might change what I was seeing. This had to be a nightmare. Aiden, my Aiden, couldn't be discussing what I thought he was discussing. You sure about the dosage? His voice was casual, like he was ordering takeout instead of plotting murder. A woman's voice purred through the speaker and my stomach lurched. Baby, I told you. I'm a pharmacist, remember? 20 milligrams in her morning coffee. She'll think it's just a migraine at first. By the time she realizes something's wrong, her organs will already be shutting down. They'll call it natural causes, maybe a stroke. Nobody investigates a 32-year-old nurse working doubles. 32. She knew my age. My profession. How long had this been going on? What about Maya? Aiden asked, and for one desperate second I thought he might show some humanity. Your daughter gets a trust fund and we get each other. Win-win. Plus, my sister can watch her when we take that trip to Bali. I'm thinking we leave a month after the funeral. Gotta look respectful, you know? They laughed. Both of them actually laughed. My vision blurred with tears, but I hit the record button. My fingers moved on autopilot, doing what years of nursing had taught me. Document everything. Evidence. I needed evidence. You really think she doesn't know about us? The woman asked. Aiden scoffed. Kira, please. She's too busy playing martyr, working herself to death. Probably thinks I'm home watching Netflix. Hearing my name in his mouth, dripping with contempt, shattered something fundamental inside me. Besides, the woman continued, I've been in your house a dozen times when she's been at work. We've made love in your bed, Aiden. If she hasn't figured it out by now, she never will. My bed. Our bed. The bed where I'd given birth to Maya during that emergency home delivery 3 years ago because I couldn't make it to the hospital. The bed where Aiden had held me through my mother's death just last year, whispering promises that everything would be okay. Always. Every single moment. Tomorrow morning I'll come by at 6 a.m., the woman said. You make her coffee like usual, the fancy kind she likes with the vanilla creamer. I'll have the pills dissolved in a little water. Just mix it in, make sure she drinks it all. What if she tastes something off? Aiden asked. She won't. These are tasteless. That's why they're perfect. Your girl is smart, isn't she? Thinking of everything. That's why I love you, Simone. Simone. Finally, a name for the voice planning my death. I watched Aiden walk further into Maya's room, adjusting her blanket with the same gentle hands that used to stroke my face. How many versions of my husband existed? The loving father, the cold stranger, the calculated killer? I've been thinking, Aiden said, his voice dropping lower. What about her family? Her sister's gonna ask questions. Let her ask. You're the grieving husband. Play it right and everyone will feel sorry for you. Trust me, baby. I've thought through every angle. This is foolproof. My sister Tasha. They'd thought about her too. My training kicked in before my emotions could paralyze me completely. I had minutes, maybe less, to make a decision that would determine whether I saw my daughter grow up. I dialed 911, my voice surprisingly steady. 911, what's your emergency? My name is Kira Williams. I'm a nurse at County General. My husband just discussed murdering me with his mistress. I have it recorded on my baby monitor. I need police at my home immediately, but I need them to be quiet. My 3-year-old daughter is inside. The dispatcher's tone shifted from routine to urgent. Ma'am, are you in a safe location? I'm at the hospital parking garage. But my baby, my voice cracked. My baby is in that house with him. Units are being dispatched now. Stay on the line with me. Can you send me that recording? I forwarded the file with shaking hands. On the monitor, Aiden had left Maya's room. I switched to the living room camera. Yes, I had multiple cameras, thank God, and watched him pace, phone still pressed to his ear. Hey, tomorrow at 6. I love you too, Simone. Yeah, it'll all be over soon. My life would be over. Maya would grow up without her mother, raised by a murderer and his mistress. Ma'am, officers are 3 minutes out. They're going to approach silently. Do you have any weapons in the home? My husband has a gun. Registered. In our bedroom closet, top shelf lockbox. Why did I know that? Why had I never questioned why Aiden needed a gun? Because you trusted him, a voice whispered. You loved him. Officers are approaching now. Through the baby monitor, I watched our front door explode inward. 6 officers, maybe more, flooding into my living room with weapons drawn. Aiden's face went from confused to terrified in a heartbeat. Hands up. Now. What the hell? There's a kid. We know about your daughter, sir. Hands where we can see them. Aiden raised his hands, his phone clattering to the floor. I could see his mind racing, trying to understand what was happening. An officer grabbed the phone. Evidence. Aiden Williams, you're under arrest for conspiracy to commit murder. This is insane. I didn't do anything. You have the right to remain silent. Maya's cry pierced through the chaos. My baby woken by the shouting. I watched an officer, a woman, thank God, rush to her room. Through that camera, I saw her scoop Maya up, wrapping her in the quilt my grandmother made, speaking softly. It's okay, sweetie. It's okay. We're police officers. Your mommy asked us to check on you. I want mommy, Maya sobbed. Mommy's coming, baby. She's coming real soon. The dispatcher's voice pulled me back. Ma'am, Detective Rodriguez wants to speak with you. Can you return to your home? Is my daughter safe? She's safe. Children's Services is sending a crisis counselor. But we need your statement, and we need it while everything's fresh. I drove home on autopilot, my body moving while my mind struggled to process. 20 minutes ago I'd been a wife, a mother, a nurse heading to work. Now I was an almost murder victim. A widow essentially. A single mother. What do you tell a 3-year-old? How do you explain that daddy wanted mommy to die? Detective Rodriguez was a black woman in her 50s, with kind eyes that had clearly seen too much. She sat across from me at my kitchen table where we'd eaten breakfast just that morning, and listened to my story. I need to know everything, she said gently. When did you first suspect an affair? I didn't. The admission burned. I thought we were just struggling. He seemed distant after Maya was born. I blamed myself for not being available enough. The night shifts, the double shifts. I thought I was failing as a wife. Rodriguez's expression softened. Mrs. Williams, you did nothing wrong. You were supporting your family. Was I, though? The question burst out of me. Because I missed it all. The late night calls. The times he was working late. How many times was she in my house, detective? How many times did she touch my things, sleep in my bed, hold my daughter? We'll find out. We've obtained Mr. Williams's phone records. We're tracking down Simone now. What about the pills? She said she had pills ready. We've got units heading to every pharmacy in a 50-mile radius. If she's a registered pharmacist, we'll find her within hours. Maya toddled in, held by the crisis counselor. She reached for me and I grabbed her like she might disappear. She smelled like baby shampoo and innocence and everything good in this world. Mommy, where's daddy? The question gutted me. They found Simone by 3 a.m. She wasn't even hiding, she was at Aiden's downtown apartment. The apartment I didn't know existed. Detective Rodriguez showed me photos on her tablet. Recognize this place? The loft was beautiful. Exposed brick floor-to-ceiling windows, modern furniture. On the wall hung photos of Aiden and a woman with caramel skin and long braids. Simone. They looked happy. In love. Like a real couple. He's been renting it for 14 months, Rodriguez said. $1,700 a month. Where did you think that money was going? His business investments. I sounded stupid even to myself. He said he was flipping properties that we'd see returns soon. Rodriguez pulled up bank statements. Your husband has been systematically draining your joint accounts. You've had your paychecks direct deposited for 7 years. Yes. He's been transferring thousands every month to offshore accounts. Kira, even if this murder plot hadn't happened, you'd have been financially ruined within 6 months. The hits kept coming. Each revelation was another knife wound. Simone Powell, Rodriguez continued. Age 28. Licensed pharmacist. No criminal record. But get this, she worked at the hospital pharmacy 2 years ago. That's probably where they met. 2 years. He'd been cheating for 2 years, planning for 14 months, and I'd noticed nothing. I'd been too busy saving other people's lives to see my own falling apart. There's more, Rodriguez said carefully. Simone's pregnant. The room tilted. My sister Tasha arrived at dawn, bursting through my door like a hurricane. She took one look at me and wrapped me in her arms. I'm going to kill him, she said simply. I'm going to actually kill him. Get in line, Detective Rodriguez muttered. Tasha pulled back, studying my face. I knew something was wrong. Last month at Maya's birthday party, remember? Aiden left for an hour. Said he was getting ice. I remember. I followed him, Kuish. I'm sorry, but I did. He met a woman at that cafe on Riverside. They were kissing. I took pictures, but I didn't know how to tell you. You seemed so stressed already, and I thought. You should have told me. The words exploded out. Tasha, he was planning to murder me. You had evidence. I know. God, I know. I'm so sorry. Tears streamed down her face. I thought I was protecting you from heartbreak. I didn't think he'd. Who thinks that? Rodriguez intervened. We'll need those photos. They establish a timeline. As Tasha pulled out her phone, mine rang. Mama. My mother-in-law. Aiden's mother. Don't answer that, Tasha warned. I answered anyway. Kira, what have you done? Mama's voice was pure venom. My son is in jail because of your lies. You've always been jealous, always tried to keep him down. Mama, he tried to have me killed. That's ridiculous. Aiden would never. You probably drove him to that woman with your coldness. Always working, never home. What man wants a wife who's never there? Detective Rodriguez took the phone from my trembling hands. Mrs. Williams, this is Detective Rodriguez with. The line went dead. Over the next 72 hours, I learned I'd been married to a stranger. Aiden's family closed ranks. His mother, his 2 brothers, even his cousins I'd considered friends. They called me a liar. A manipulator. They said I fabricated the recording. But evidence doesn't lie. Police found text messages between Aiden and Simone dating back 26 months. Thousands of messages. Plans for their future. Complaints about me, how boring I was, how frigid, how I'd trapped him with pregnancy. How Maya looked just like me, which apparently annoyed him. They found the pills in Simone's apartment. Diazepam, a massive quantity. Enough to kill someone my size twice over. They found life insurance policies Aiden had taken out on me. 5 different policies over 3 years, totaling $3.4 million. I'd signed papers he said were for financial planning. I trusted him. They found evidence of Simone's pregnancy. She was 4 months along. They'd been planning to wait until after my death to announce it. A bright spot in tragic times, according to text messages. But the worst discovery came on day 4. Detective Rodriguez sat me down with a prosecutor named Janet Mills, a sharp-eyed woman who specialized in domestic cases. Kira, we need to talk about your mother's death. My blood ran cold. My mother had a stroke. What does that have to do with? Your mother was 58. No prior history of cardiovascular disease. She died suddenly at your home after having dinner that Aiden cooked. No. They exhumed my mother's body on a Tuesday. The same Tuesday I had to return to work because despite everything I still had bills to pay. Maya needed stability. Life doesn't stop for tragedy. My colleagues knew. Everyone knew. The story had made local news. Nurse discovers murder plot through baby monitor. I was famous for all the wrong reasons. I'm so sorry, my supervisor Dr. Simpson said. Take all the time you need. But I couldn't take time. Time meant thinking. Thinking meant remembering Mama's last night. We'd had dinner. Mama, Aiden, Maya, and me. Aiden insisted on cooking something special for Mama's visit. Jerk chicken, her favorite. She'd felt sick after, complained of a headache. Aiden gave her ibuprofen. She went to lie down in our guest room. I found her 2 hours later. Unresponsive. I performed CPR while Aiden called 911, but she was already gone. The doctors said massive stroke. These things happen. Except they don't just happen. The toxicology report came back 6 days later. Detective Rodriguez delivered the news in person in my living room, while Maya watched cartoons, blissfully unaware. High levels of potassium chloride in her system. It induces cardiac arrest, mimics natural heart failure. He killed your mother. This was a practice run. I didn't cry. I'd run out of tears. I just sat there holding my coffee mug. The same coffee mug Aiden would have poisoned, and felt something inside me turn to stone. How long has Simone been a pharmacist? 3 years. So she had access even then. Rodriguez nodded. My mother. My sweet, gentle mother who'd raised me alone after Daddy died. Who'd worked 2 jobs to put me through nursing school. Who'd loved Aiden like her own son. He'd murdered her. For practice. Aiden's lawyer was everything I expected. Expensive suit, slicked back hair, shark's eyes. His defense strategy leaked to the press within days. Aiden was innocent, entrapped by a vindictive wife who'd fabricated evidence. Simone was just a friend offering emotional support during a difficult marriage. The court of public opinion split viciously. Half the internet called me a hero. The other half called me a liar. My social media filled with death threats and marriage proposals in equal measure. I deleted everything. Maya started having nightmares. She'd wake up screaming for Daddy, not understanding why he was gone. The child psychologist said it was normal, that we'd work through it. But how do you work through your father being a murderer? Aiden's mother showed up at my work, screaming in the hospital lobby that I'd destroyed her family. Security removed her, but the damage was done. Patients requested different nurses. Whispers followed me everywhere. I can't do this, I told Tasha one night, both of us drunk on cheap wine at 2 a.m. while Maya slept between us. I can't be the woman whose husband tried to kill her. I can't be the daughter whose mother was murdered. I can't be strong anymore. You don't have a choice, Tasha said, not unkindly. Maya needs you strong. Mom needs you to get justice. You need you to survive. The preliminary hearing was set for 6 weeks out. Prosecutor Mills prepared me for what was coming. Aiden and Simone would be tried together for conspiracy to commit murder and for my mother's death. The evidence was overwhelming, but trials were unpredictable. They'll attack your character, Mills warned. They'll make you the villain. Are you ready for that? I thought about my mother's smile. Maya's laugh. The life I'd almost lost. Make them pay. The courtroom was smaller than I expected. Aiden sat at the defense table looking thinner, older. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Simone sat beside him, no longer pregnant. She'd lost the baby in jail, apparently. I felt nothing about that. I'd become ice. My testimony lasted 7 hours over 2 days. I told them everything. The baby monitor, the recording, the investigation. Aiden's lawyer tried to rattle me. Mrs. Williams, isn't it true you were rarely home? That you prioritized work over family? I was supporting my family, I replied evenly. With the money my husband was stealing from me. You claim to love your husband, yet you had him arrested based on a single conversation? I had him arrested based on him plotting my murder. And based on evidence he murdered my mother. Is there a threshold of death threats you'd recommend before taking action? The jury laughed. The judge banged his gavel, but I saw approval in his eyes. Simone's testimony destroyed her. She tried to play victim. Aiden seduced her, manipulated her, controlled her. But the text messages told a different story. Messages where she called me names, mocked my appearance, celebrated my mother's death. "One down," she'd written. The defense crumbled over 3 weeks. Forensic evidence, digital footprints, witness testimonies from neighbors who'd seen Simone at our house, from Aiden's friend who'd heard him complain about needing a fresh start. The verdict came on a Friday, guilty on all counts. Aiden got life without parole. Simone got 30 years. I felt nothing. No relief, no satisfaction. Just emptiness where my life used to be. 6 months later, Maya and I moved across the country. New city, new hospital, new start. Tasha came with us. She'd quit her job, sold her condo, decided we needed each other. Maya still asks about Daddy sometimes. I tell her the truth in small doses. Daddy made very bad choices. Daddy hurt people. Daddy can't be with us anymore. The therapist says honesty, age-appropriate and gentle, is best. I sold our house. The insurance money, all of it, went into a trust for Maya, managed by lawyers who aren't Aiden. I wanted nothing from him. Nothing stained with his betrayal. Sometimes I wonder what I missed. What signs I ignored because I was tired, stressed, overwhelmed. Then I remember, it wasn't my job to catch him being evil. It was his job to not be evil. My mother's grave has a new headstone now. Beloved mother and grandmother. Taken too soon. Justice served. It's not enough. It will never be enough. But Maya is alive. I'm alive. We're healing slowly like bones knitting back together after a break. Stronger at the fracture points, they say. I met someone, another nurse, a single father, someone who understands trauma and resilience. We're taking it slow. Maya likes him. That's enough for now. On Maya's 4th birthday, she blew out her candles and wished for a normal family. It broke my heart, but I also felt hope. Because we are normal. Single parents, chosen family, women rebuilding after destruction. That's normal too. I think about Aiden sometimes, in prison, losing decades. I think about Simone losing her freedom, her career, her future. I think about my mother robbed of grandmothering Maya, of seeing me finally happy. And I think about that baby monitor, that random piece of technology that saved my life. Sometimes the universe protects you in the strangest ways. Sometimes survival looks like a streaming camera and the courage to believe what you see. I'm not grateful for the trauma, but I'm grateful I survived it. That has to be enough. If this story resonated with you, please like and subscribe. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever discovered a truth that changed everything? Remember, trust your instincts. They might just save your life. And if you found value in this story, hit that notification bell so you never miss our next upload. Stay safe out there and remember, you're stronger than you know.